Hi y'all, it's Abs, and we're here today with Genshin Impact. Let me know what y'all think and we'll roll right on in. So the first character I'd like to discuss is Klee. So Klee is this little young child that just enjoys having fun and blowing things up. But she is very young, and the way that they categorize her, her voice, you know, everything, kind of shows how ignorant she is on some things. But she's actually, you know, just in that, like, very young mindset. When Klee was introduced to us in the island adventure that anyone that is new to Genshin Impact, at the time you're seeing this video, or even just in the past few months, it's just, you know, we can never get that back. We're probably never going to get Golden Apple Archipelago again. But that's where you really learn the most about Klee. And she's just like, I don't know, I think she's adorable. One of my close friends thinks she's like uber scary because, you know, she's not human. And I thought that was kind of racist, but, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, so this is Klee. She likes starting forest fires. The weapon I have for her is the Dodical Tails, which you can't get if you, like, unless you played Golden Apple Archipelago, you can't get this. We don't talk about refinement rank 4. I couldn't get to 5, so it's always gonna be at 4. We don't talk about it. This is my build for her, Crimson Wish of Flames and Gladiator's Finale. I think I'm trying to go full Crimson, but it just hasn't happened yet. And clearly I need to get some more gold, but that's how it's gonna be for everybody, so I apologize. We're progressing here, you know? This is just where I'm at when I'm recording this. Okay. So, as far as Klee goes, she's a little, I'm gonna say this for all mages in general. I feel like they're difficult to play if you're playing on mobile because of the range and the fact that they don't always target that well. So, I've really gotten into playing mages as I've played on PC, but I started out playing Genshin Impact on my phone. And so, like, Klee was very difficult when I first got her. But specific to Klee, she's really, really good, but you gotta build her up. Like, my Klee didn't start really doing damage until she was as high as she is now. Even though I had a lower world revenue at the time, she still wasn't that strong. So you have to, you know, really level her up for her to be strong. Also, maybe unlocking parts of her constellation will help, though. She hasn't really had another run in a while, so I don't know. Anyways, that's Klee. Next, I'd like to talk about Rosaria. So Rosaria is this, like, she's got an awesome story, and I'm not gonna do spoilers because, you know, I want you, like, you know, I want you to be able to play the game. I want you to be able to experience it for yourself. But I will say that her story is one of the most inspiring for me personally. And it's led to a lot of creative development for me. But basically, she is a recluse. And so one of the things that kind of like explains her personality and her, like, the way she dresses, the way that she acts, all of that kind of has to do with her story. Just as all the other characters, but to me, Rosaria really stands out because she's so reclusive and so against the grind. You know, she doesn't really go for what other people want her to do. Although Rosaria does conform to an extent, she never fully conforms. So there's a reason behind that, a reason why she is the way she is. And it's kind of like a common trend between her and most of the cryo characters. It's like they just have this like really, really difficult past. You know, this reason for why they're so literally cold, you know? And it really makes me wonder about the cryo Archon, but I'm sure it's gonna be a while. I hope they build a great story for him. I'm excited. Anyways. So that's Rosaria. I absolutely love her. Now the best weapon for Rosaria is the Dragon Spine Spear. I'll probably bring this up again, but it is literally one of the best weapons, if not the best weapon for her. And the great thing about the Dragon Spine Spear is you can just get it. You can just get it if you play Genshin Impact and you do the quests. Obviously it's Dragon Spine Spear, so you get it from Dragon Spine. But it's a quest in Dragon Spine and you unlock it. And then you're able to actually build it at the weaponry. So that's very unique. It's one of the things that you can build. You don't have to wish for it. And that's really rare in this game. Usually you have to wish to get good weapons. But this is one that's given to you, and it's absolutely made for her. I'm sure there will be characters in the future that can work well with it. I'm sure the new character that just came out, I think it's like Shuhei, she probably works well with this too. But I don't know if she does polearm. I don't remember. There's also a claymore that goes well with this, that if you have Eula, you can use as well. But anyways, yes, this is something that you can unlock in Dragon Spine. For artifacts, I think I'm trying to go full, I think I'm doing Bloodstained Trevelyan Courtiers for now. That's what I'm sticking with. Because I want physical damage, because she is hot. She's very high on physical damage. But I also wanted to increase attack percent. The next character I'd like to discuss is Fischl. So Fischl, oh my gosh. So she's kind of in this like growing up kind of phase. It's like that stereotype that's found in a lot of movies and shows where it's a coming of age film or a coming of age like story, you know? She's kind of this girl that has this vision and she's quite powerful, but the way she creates herself, the way she has her own reality, you know, she's clearly not entirely put together. I mean, she's missing this hairband. She's got like her stocking up on like not up here, you know. She's just kind of a mess. She's got her eye patch. No eye patch here. I love her character. Some people don't like her as much, and I can see why she might not be a favorite. She's definitely not like strong in the sense of like she has some vulnerability to her. But to me, that makes her stronger. That makes her so much cooler. That gives her a bit more of a backbone and makes me curious to know like what she would be like when she's older, you know, because this is the only way we get to see her, you know, is in this present state. But like, what would she be like when she's older? Will she be more refined? Will she be less refined? You know. But yeah, that's Fischl. I love her. She's one of the first characters that I really used and enjoyed. She's really the only marksman or archer, as it is in Genshin Impact, that I have used. And of course, she's great to play on mobile because Oz does everything for you. But as far as her character goes, Oz almost seems like this fictional character, but in reality, he's like not. You know, he actually does exist. He actually does help you, and he actually does answer her sometimes when she talks. It's a very interesting dynamic that they have. Because at first you'd be like, oh, is it all in her head? But then you're like, maybe it's not, you know, because you see her. And she's definitely a character that I hope that we get more story on. But I know that for some people, she irritates some people, so they're probably like, oh no, we don't want her. But to those of us that like Fischl, it would be great to get more of an understanding of her. And maybe it will help some people that don't like her as much. Maybe it'll help them to like her. I don't know. But yeah, that's Fischl. Alrighty, so next I'm going to do one of my absolute favorite characters. And that is Sayo. Okay, so as you may have noticed, Sayo is probably still my profile picture for this account. I'm probably going to change it over time, but Sayo is my absolute favorite ever. She's just absolutely adorable. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's like seeing my cat when I get up in the morning. You know, like, Sayo is just so adorable every time I see her. I just can't help but gush over how cute she is. And also, she is strong and she's so unique to play. I mean, we don't have any other character, at least at this moment, that you can play like you can play Sayo. She also is a healer. They're like, support is usually one of the first things that I build when I play games. You know, I like to have support on my team, and so when she came out and she was support, it's like, oh my god, she's made for me. And then, I mean, also, you know, like, she's voiced by Lily Pichu, so, like, how can you not like her? But other than that, she's just a great, great character. I love her outfit. Like, she's human, but she's just, oh, she's so cute. So Sayo is this little girl, and I'm not going to try and do too many spoilers, but she really wants to grow up in many ways. And she, almost to the point where she doesn't realize how talented and how strong she is at the moment. You know, and so as a character, you try to show her that, or at least lead her in that direction. And I guess she's a little bit like Fischl, you know, kind of like a coming of age, kind of. But she is much younger. I did read somewhere that she's actually older than what people think she is. But then in the story quest, which I'm sure I will upload on this channel in the future, the story quest kind of says that she is a kid at some point, I think. So I don't know her age. But I always thought of her as a little bit older. But anyways, I suppose that's what it is. So you could link her up with Klee, but I don't know if I would do that. She has some extraordinary talents, and she's always tired, always sleepy, which is incredibly relatable to me, so I feel that. Alright, so we'll start with weapons. There's lots of great weapons that you can use with Sayo. This is just one of the weapons that came out when I got her, and I've always used it. I'm probably at some point gonna switch in the future, but I really like this for her right now. She'll get a shield when she takes damage. It only happens every 45 seconds, but it's great because, you know, it can protect her and, like, you know, help out the entire team. The artifact I'm trying to go for is just full Viridescent Veneer. Sayo specifically is one of those characters that at this present moment, there's really only one way you can build her, and that's Viridescent Veneer, because she's a healer and because she's Animo. So it's pretty easy. I'm trying to get gold. Hasn't happened yet, as you can see. I still got one of these defenders will here. Please disregard that. But yeah, trying to go full Viridescent Veneer. Getting there. Zhao kind of took all my stuff. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and go with, I suppose I'll just jump in and do my other top favorite character. and that's Beto. So as the first tank that I really, really bonded with and played so much, just so much, I absolutely adore Beto. And different people have their different reasons for liking Beto. To me, it's her personality, her confidence, and also her humility to an extent. She's kind of got that heroic thing going for her, but she also is truly damaged to an extent. So to me, that makes her seem even more realistic. I'm definitely gonna play her story quest again for this channel so that we can really get into the quality that is Beto. I think they did an awesome job on that. As I was considering creating this channel, I thought about how, we need to have more on Beto. And this was before Inazuma came out. This is right before Inazuma came out. And they did the Inazuma quest, and Beto's in the freaking quest, and then they gave us a story quest, and I was like, wow, I predicted it. But I didn't even release anything, but it just felt that way. But yeah, so this is Beto. She's awesome. She's one of the best tanks that you can use because she really does do a lot of defense. She obviously, you can build a lot of HP on her. For me, I just have full Gladiator's Finale. But you can really rank up with this and do HP. But yeah, Beto's great, and she does a massive amount of damage, and she's also a pretty common character, so you can build her constellation. Currently, I'm at like, C5. I'm so close to C6. It's like painful, but we'll see. Anyways, the weapon I use for her is Prototype Archaic. There's also other awesome weapons to use with her, but I think that this is an awesome weapon. This is one of those weapons that you can use with many, many characters just because it's not that specific. And it's also one of the weapons that you just unlock that you can just build yourself. So, yeah. That's Beto, and she's a badass. Now let's move on to our next one. Next, I'll go with Yoimiya. So Yoimiya is this literal ball of energy. I usually am not a huge fan of super hyper characters. I usually like the more like intense or like, low-key or brooding characters, but there's just something about Yoimiya that just makes you excited, makes you happy. I don't know, she just releases that serotonin, but she's great. And she's kind of got that official thing going on, where she's like got this, like half dressed, got some ornaments on this side, not on this side, like got like, I don't know, missing part of her skirt here. I don't know. Kind of mismatched. If you look at her from this perspective, she's also missing, part of her socks, or I don't know exactly what you call that in Japanese culture, but yeah, she's definitely missing something there. I would, as a soccer player, I would say like, oh, it's shin guards, but I don't think it's shin guards. Anyway, so she's kind of got that official thing going on, but at the same time, she is so confident in who she is. So it's maybe like a little bit of an older version of official, but I guess we'll see. She's great. And the fact that she has fireworks, as her thing, and as you learn in the story how meaningful that is to her, it makes so much sense that, she is the way she is. And then the butterfly, like kind of like freedom in a sense, it's just like, it really goes with her, I absolutely adore Yoimiya. I'm so glad that I got her. So for Yoimiya, the thing that I use is Rust. This one came out when she first came out. So it's kind of like the weapon that they build for her, but there's also, as there always is, other weapons that you can use. This is a pretty decent weapon to use for her because she's really important for DPS. And, I mean, I don't use her much for charged attacks, so it does lower your charge attack damage, but that doesn't really affect me much in the way that I use her. Also, for her second skill, it, like, boosts her normal attack for a certain period of time. And if you unlock her constellation, you can, I think it's her first constellation? Yeah, it makes it last a little bit longer. The way that I play her, it's probably the best weapon for her. Yeah. As far as artifacts go, I think I'm going for full Crimson Witch of Flames, but haven't gotten there yet. So I'm sticking with Gladiator's Finale and Crimson right now. Alrighty. Now let's go over to Jean-Ling. So Jean-Ling is one of those characters that you unlock. You just get her after a certain amount of time of playing Genshin when you complete the Spiral Abyss. But when I was first playing Genshin, it was at the beginning. So I saw the Spiral Abyss come out and I saw Jean-Ling come out and I absolutely fell in love with her. She's just adorable. She's a cook that just kind of wants to try everything. I don't usually, again, I'm not always the biggest fan of characters that are super hyper or super, like, happy, but I do like her because of the uniqueness of her. It is to be noted that when you play her, her bell rings. I thought that there was something wrong with my audio for a while or something, because I was trying to figure out what that noise was, and it's literally her bell when she rings. But anyway, it's besides the point. The recent quest that we, or at least world event that we have encountered, kind of told you the story about Globa. So there's that. And that just made her, to me, even more interesting. But yeah, she's kind of like all tied up with little ribbons and bows, got the bow in her hair, you know, kind of like that. And then when I unlocked Yoimiya, I kind of thought about how Yoimiya has this bow too. It really made me think of Jean-Ling. But yeah, Jean-Ling's one of the first pyro character that I really liked. So yeah, and everyone can get her, so she's common. So I use Crescent Pike with her. There's way better weapons for her, but I don't usually wish for weapons that much. I just get what I get, and this is one that you can build on your own. So yeah. For artifacts, I have full Gladiator's Finale. I don't know if I'm going to something else or not. I'm not entirely sure at this point. I don't main her as much as I used to currently, so I'm working on other characters before working on her, but this will get worked on eventually. Alrighty. Next character we're going to discuss is Zhao. So they're currently, as I'm recording this, doing a release of Zhao. Again, a rerun of Zhao, and lots of people that never had Zhao, didn't see Zhao when he first came out, never had a chance to get him. So this is like, he's finally getting a rerun, and I love him. So when I was playing Genshin, I started when it was only Mondstadt, and all the way through the Liyue period, all I did was I just played and I grinded, and I would just wish with the Prima Gems that I achieved. I didn't spend money on the game. So I unlocked Zhao purely by just luck. Purely by just either luck or maybe pity, but I don't know. but I didn't spend money to get him. Of course, that has changed now in Inazuma times, but, you know, I was a very, like, non-spending player for a while. And I'm still a little bit of, you know, I don't spend unless it's a character that I really, really want. But yeah, so it was so exciting when I got Zhao, because he was one of the first 5 stars that I achieved in that way, and I was just so excited about. For a long time, I didn't know how to play him, because there's a combo that you have to do with him, and I didn't know about that. So I figured it out now, but yeah, he's a really great damage dealer. I actually got his 5-star weapon in the past few weeks, so you can see I'm building that right now. But this is literally the best weapon for him. I had, I think it was like a bloodstained. Oh, it was Blackcliff Pole, yeah. This is the one that I was using with him for a long time. But I unlocked this one, so that's the one I'm using with him. So yeah, that's Zhao. He's our emo boy. As a character, he's extremely reclusive for a lot of reasons, but I find that incredibly interesting. I'm sure I'll also be recording Stardew on this channel, but he reminds me, probably just because of Stardew, he reminds me of Sebastian from Stardew. You know, just kind of a little bit emo. Of course, he's got like a way kind of different storyline going on. Way much more pain. But the way that he presents himself just kind of reminded me of Sebastian. I was like, oh, I'm so glad I got him, you know, because I love Sebastian. But yeah, so. For him, I'm going Iridescent Veneer and the Shimen Nawa's Reminiscence, because that just came out for Inazuma, so that's new. For a while, I think it was Iridescent Veneer and Gladiator's Finale, but now this is kind of like the updated thing. Again, nothing is 5-star, is gold yet. No 5-star artifacts, so apologies, I'm getting there. It's not there yet. Yeah, but it will all be worked on as we progress. The next character I'm going to do is Mona. So, I've had Mona for a long time, and as discussed earlier, you know, using a mage on mobile is so hard. Like, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just, like, inept at doing it. But Mona was so hard on mobile. And now that I play on PC, it's like, oh my god, she's so great. And she's actually one of my mains now. I actually just unlocked her first constellation. But yeah, she's wonderful. She does a lot of damage with her ult, and the way you build her is you focus on energy recharge. That's what it is. You focus on gaining energy recharge, so that way you can build, you can get to her ult quicker and use her second skill as well. So that's how I play Mona. She's another character that I really hope that we can get more story about. She's kind of an understated character at this point. We did have a little bit about her, though. It wasn't like Beto, where we just had, like, nothing about Beto for a really long time. But I would love to see more about her. I think maybe they're saving that for when they decide to bring in Klee and Klee's heritage, because we know that Klee's mother is kind of linked to, like, this band of witches that Mona's a part of, so whatever. Not really a spoiler, because we don't know anything beyond that. But yeah. So, that's Mona. I actually really enjoy her voice actress, because she's so, like, the way she speaks, she is very, she has very good diction, in the way that she speaks. And it just kind of makes her seem like she knows so much more about everything than maybe she even does. It's just really, I don't know, I find her voice actress really great. Really well done job. I mean, I love most of the voice actresses. I could go on and on about Beidou's voice actress. But we won't get into that now. But yeah, that's Mona. That's my 2 cents about her. So, yeah. Okay, so now we'll get into some of the characters that I have just unlocked that I'm just learning how to use. The first of these being Child. So, as you can see, I'm still building his talents. I haven't even, like, finished that yet. I only have him at level 60. Like, so, and I mean, I gotta get him to 80 or 90, so we'll see. But yeah, Child, I find, personally, he's definitely a challenging character to use, but I prefer using him with his sword. Well, I don't know if you can call it a sword, it's kind of like a spear, I don't know. More than an archer. But yeah, I'm still building him, so still learning. I'm not gonna say too much about his story because a lot has been uncovered and there's still more clearly that's gonna be uncovered, so I don't want to get too much into that for sake of spoilers, but I do want to say that he's complicated. He's got a lot going on, you know, and I think everybody's sus of him, but I'm really sus of him. So I don't know. It's always kind of creepy when you're just, you know, walking around and all of a sudden he just goes, oh, you know, like, let's kill some stuff. And it's like, okay. That's not the way I like to think about things, but alright. You know, he's definitely got some kind of, like, weird psychopathic desires there, but it does make him interesting. The weapon I have for him right now is this. Just for lack of, like, this is probably the best weapon that I have for him. It's basically for lack of a better. Because there are so many better weapons than this one. So I don't want to dwell on it too much, but this is just what I have to use right now. Artifacts, I'm working on going full Heart of Depth for him, but clearly I'm not there yet. Alrighty, next character I'd like to cover is Ning Wong. The reason that I saved her for towards the end is because she's one of those characters that I did build and I did play. I used to play a lot more. But now I just kind of use her when I need her, basically. But I really love her character. But I kind of included her at the end because I don't main her as much anymore. But she is pretty built. Now, one thing I do want to say about Ning Wong is that just recently, as you may have noticed, they came out with story-like chapters for her. And just like Albedo, it was a month before this, we knew anything. And I was like, oh, we need a Ning Wong story. Like, I want to know her background. And then they come out with the story, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, why wasn't I recording? You know, like, I could have gotten this on tape. But alas, anyways. Yeah. That's Ning Wong. Basically, if we're gonna describe Ning Wong, she's this crazy ideals that kind of make her, to me, seem a little bit closed-minded, or at least appear that way, but in reality, she's not really 100% that way. She kind of keeps you guessing. Got that whole kind of poker face thing kind of going on. But she definitely is powerful, you know, she definitely has that aura of, like, you know, toughness that you'd find in, like, Albedo or, like, Rosaria. You know, just kind of that level of, like, confidence and empoweringness. I really loved that about her. I also just love her appearance. I think she's so pretty. She's one of, like, I was there when she first came out, and she was just, to me, the prettiest character when she was released. And, like, when you run with her, her hair, like, flies behind her, you know? It's, like, full anime moment. And then the tattoos, so cool. She's just really interesting. And she is very, like, secretive, so that's why I was like, oh, we need story quest. And honestly, I would love to see more about her. I would love to see more, because she's just so interesting to me. Alright. Next character I'd like to do is Albedo. Oh my god. Okay. So I just unlocked Albedo, like, during the Shadows Amidst Snowstorms event. And I tell you, I wasn't even trying to unlock him, but I got him, and I was like, well, I mean, I gotta build him if I have him. And for a while, I was like, okay, and I was learning how to use him, and I was like, alright, he's okay. But I tell you, his character has grown so much on me. And all those people that are like Albedo, like hardcore, like, oh my god, Albedo's the best, oh my god, Albedo, you know, whatever. I think I'm starting to fall into that category, because he's so cool. Like, and I don't know, the way that he sees the world is so unique. My favorite line by him is when he says, come into being. I think that is, like, so, like, because his whole thing is kind of, like, questioning, like, what life is, you know, and what makes up life, what makes up essence. And so a lot of his, or basically all of his, the things that he says, the dialogue that he has when he does his elemental burst, or when he does his second skill, he says stuff like, having to do with existence, you know, like, for his elemental burst, he'll say, like, burst forth, or he'll say, like, moment of birth, you know, or something like that, but come into being is just my favorite line. It's great. And I just love the way that he's kind of poetic, you know, the way that he speaks. As we know, he's a creative mindset person. Like, he draws, you know, he kind of tries to see the world, a deep thinker, you know, and so I don't know, just some of the dialogue that he has is just so good. And of course his voice actor is, you know, really good. Decent, incredibly decent, better than decent. But, like, one of the other things he says is, when he opens a treasure chest, he'll say, though it's not gold, it certainly glitters. And it's just, like, seeing that kind of positiveness in it. And it kind of helps a lot mentally for me. I don't know. But I really enjoy his character. He's the notable alchemist of Mondstadt. He's just this calm person that has experienced so much, but kind of, like, strives, but also really lives in, like, the present moment. So he's a very, very interesting character. The weapon I have for him is the weapon that we got in the Shadows of Snowstorms event. It's the Cinnabar Spindle. It's really good for him. I think it was basically made for him, but there's other weapons, multiple, that people use for him, but I really like this weapon with him. And artifacts, I'm trying to go with Archaic Petra and Nova Savage, but we're working on it. We'll get there, you know. It's a lot of work. Okay, so one of the other characters that, probably the final character that I'll mention, is Barbara. Okay. Can we just have a moment for Barbara? Just a silent moment of, like, a big sigh. Okay. So I'm sure you've probably noticed by now that, as I've said multiple times, I don't like super vibrant characters if they don't have much of a purpose, if they don't have a backbone. Barbara is the staple for those types of characters. And I really don't like Barbara. But, as I was first playing Genshin, and as being one of the first types of games that I've played this way, the type of genre that it is, I had to build her. Barbara, as a playable character, is so OP and so great and so vital to just team fights. Especially when you're first starting out. Like, now we have Sayo, now we have, like, freaking, Sengona Mia, Kokomi, but Barbara was the only one besides Noelle that was really, really decent at that for a long time. And she's also one of the first characters that you kind of unlock, still, to this day. And so I've built her basically almost all the way. I don't have her at level 90 yet, but I've just really, really hardcore built her. And I have her full constellation. So she's just so incredibly OP for me. But her character, deplorable. I can't stand her character. They changed her voice actress, and it's like, I didn't like her original voice actress because she was way too peppy, but then they kind of like changed the voice actress, and it's like, it's better, but like, I'm still gonna complain about it. So I just don't like Barbara. I have a really strong detest for Barbara. So if you see me using her on occasion now, because I don't use her that much anymore, but I still have her if I need her, because she just makes life easier. Yeah, I just use her for her sake of convenience, and because she would literally resurrect someone if they die. But she's just like, her character, I absolutely hate it. And alongside with that comes the extreme hatred that I have for Amber. I absolutely hate Amber. As mentioned previously, I talked about Jean-Ling, and how Jean-Ling was the first pirate character that I really liked. That's because I absolutely detest Amber. Amber is she's just not my cup of tea. I know, like, people that are Amber mains, okay, and they're great, and they're awesome at her, and whatever, that's fine. I just cannot stand her character. I cannot stand, like, how hyped that she is about everything, how, like, I don't know, there's just something about her, I just really don't like her. I'm probably going to do a bit of a run-through at some point on my second account, and I do, like, currently I have been using her a lot on my second account. Because I don't have anybody else yet, that's Pyro. Actually, I did just unlock Bennett, so I've been using him. But, you know, like, Amber. Anyways. So, I don't like her. You'll probably rarely, if ever, see me using Amber. I can't stand her. As, like, one of the first characters that you get introduced to in this game, I was just like, why? Why does she exist? Of course, she has a little bit more to her story than Barbara. Barbara to me is just, like, why? Like, she could have been so much better. You know, she could have been so much stronger. I don't know. Can't stand her, don't like her. It's just personal. It's getting very personal in here. And alongside with this, we do have Bennett, and when I do a cover of my second account, I'll get into him more. But for the purposes of this account and this video, Bennett is I'm building him so that I can use him for my Pyro DPS team as a support. He's a really awesome character, and I think he's adorable. But yeah, so I'm not gonna get too much into him. I am using him with Aquila Favonia, and this is like a 5-star weapon. This is a really, really good weapon. But yeah. I don't have his artifacts really completely set up as everyone else. But yeah, I'm still building him, still trying to make him even better. But yeah, he'll be like on here occasionally for support and stuff, but he's not a main on this account. And the last character I'm going to cover is a character that I'm also still building, and that's D-Luke. I'm not really sure when I'm gonna put him into play, we'll see. But he's also gonna go on my Pyro DPS team. And he's just great. He's so strong, you know? His character, ugh. And he's got one of the best character designs of them all. Like, just his outfit and, you know, just his existence. I don't know how else to explain it. His mere existence makes him so interesting. Recently, I read his part in the manga, so I'm like, oh my god. I'm really starting to get more attached to him. But yeah, he's really cool, and I'm glad to have him, and I look forward to building him in the future, but he's not my main focus right now, but yeah. I don't even have a good weapon for him yet. And his artifacts are a bit of a yikes. But yeah, that's where we are in Genshin Impact. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that we can have a great adventure together. And I'll see y'all in the next one, whatever content it is.